Abata 2014. Igbo Katinego Manaye can you book one?
How much you nego?
2015.
How much you nego? How much you nego?
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. So this is the late night broadcast. And we are here again for something very, very important. Honestly, this song, I just like the beating and vibes. I struggle to hear what they're saying. I can't even pick much, just few words from what they're saying. And it's okay. Amalichi, because I see you. Ogwage of us said, these guys are very funny. That comment led me to pay more attention to what they're saying. Then I picked some word there, which is very, very funny though, and it's not clear. You know what I mean? But I just put it because of the vibes. The kind of is nice. Now, tonight I want us to go through a few things. As you can see on the title, Igbo Biafrans and their identity crisis. I am not here to tell you what I don't know. I can only tell you what I know. As certain I see you. Thank you for joining me this hour. And you know, and so I think I need to start without wasting much time. Let us start with a man called George Oyibe. George Oyibe, in case if you don't know, is one of the powerful this life. He's one of the broadcaster then in Radio Biafra. So he's meaning that he agitated for Biafra independent under Martin Namdekan. Today, he's not only against Biafra, he's against Igbo race. That is how mighty has fallen. But remember, if you are, I don't know if you have noticed, people that have agitated for Biafra anytime and they decided to stop, they always struggle to become somebody like, they always struggle to make sense. They always struggle. And I don't know why. I honestly don't know why it's like that. This kind of broadcast I'm not supposed to bring it this hour, but I have to. Because I've been postponing it for days now. I have some of the video with me for days now. I've been skipping it. Let me say this one. Let me react on this one before. Also, I don't want to keep on prolonging it. George Oyibe, this man you are seeing here, is called George Oyibe.
Good morning, fellow Nigerians across the globe. You will not understand.
Shut up your mouth. Oyifu here. Can about George Oyibe? Many of you don't even know that this guy used to broadcast in Radio Biafra before. I was thinking that he's from Okwale, but I just realized that according to him, that he's from Abo, of all places, Abo man. He's not telling you that he's not Igbo. And he's doing everything to prove to you that he's not Igbo. The video is very long, and I'm sorry that we are not going to play it. You understand? That long. We will touch it. Also blessed, I see you. I see you also, you are welcome. Choma Ibe, our sister. I forget can that just what was that no now. Bend it down, we check here. I wouldn't have known that you are the one. Choma Ibe of all people. God just will laugh you. I don't know what is wrong with YT though, but you're welcome, my sister. They will one name okay. You're welcome. I see you always enjoy this whenever I'm listening to him. Okay, you actually know the guy also blessed. Great of all, made me to cut it short. That is what hatred, jealousy, and greediness cause them. And the adultery. And the adultery is this one. They are not actually do that though. I mean, you are talking about, you are referring to George Oyibe, right? Asatina. Adultery and George Oyibe is not in the same category. George Oyibe is his own self-hate is shocking. Don't worry, let's start with George Oyibe. Like I said, please do me a favor by making sure you like the video. As you know, I forgot to tell people that we are coming live tonight. So maybe, I don't know if YT shared notification to people or not. They said his broadcast then is top notch. Yes, George Oyibe was very, but now, like I said, Biafran movement is just like seminary school. If you're Catholic, if you're Roman Catholic, you understand what I'm talking about. What I mean by seminary school. If you see, have you seen anybody that tried to be a reverend father and later couldn't make it? Something happened on the way. That person can never be normal. It's like if you want to argue with them, oh my goodness, is that they embrace voodoo very, very well, and they always want to rubbish it in church. Go and check them. These are people that have attempted to be a reverend father, and something happened on their way. The way they will fall back with their alacrity. They will fall back with the way normal. And they will be criticizing everything criticizable. They will twist everything. This guy, George Oyibe, is a victim of that. Uche Befo, victim. Ike Guru. These are people that was broadcasting, shouting, but because they said to fall back. That the fallback is not be here. That's why it's difficult for you to fall back. Hear him. Just pay attention.
Good morning, fellow Nigerians across the globe. As you already know, I am George Oyibe. This morning is going to be a little bit dramatic. And maybe some people will have to understand the truth behind the shady deal, the organized crime against some ethnic groups in the South by the Igbo Biafra people. This morning, I am Odogu. I'm a chief in Igbo land and a chief in Agbo land, Osetiana. So call me Odogu. Boya dike ho, boya dike ho. Is that not what Simon Ekpa was using to deceive you people? Give us Simon Ekpa biography. You see, that guy is Akwa Ibom man, carved into Igbo land. But it's unfortunate. And so, I am George Oyibe, Igbo Agbo man. Call Nedi Nwoko. Call IP.
Did you hear that? Did you just hear that? That Simon Ekpa is Akwa Ibom man, carved into Igbo. I told you one thing about these people, that they will start with, Biafra. I'm an activist. I am a freedom fighter. Ikuku guru na ebundos okusefa. Fada yakata. Oye kanan. Somebody that people called honorable, reasonable George Oyibe. Today, he can't even reason. From fighting for freedom to identity crisis. That is how much he has fallen. And he's not the only victim. He's not the only victim. I mentioned 3 people, right? We still have more people. This Sima, another victim. Biafra. But once they want to fall, oh my goodness, they will fall with everything in them. That's why I said I'm not a freedom fighter. This is one of the reasons. Because I'm a Tolu. Okay? I'm a Tolu. Okoro wara ogodo. If you know what that means. You have to be strong. You need to have your taproot supposed to be there. Otherwise, you end up. Look at George Oyibe. George Oyibe of all people. What comes out from what is this guy forbidden now is shocking. Hear him. So it will not be that kind of what he said.
It will be all of you.
Franco Conco, I greet you. It is frustration that is George Oyibe's problem. Immediately he lost that position, he has not been the same. Honestly, honestly. And now he looks more stupid and senseless. Just hear him.
Come and rejoice. I have accepted my Igbonity in Yoshi. It's a shame. But hold on.
He called in the Ndoshi. Now he removed the cap. Now here is the argument now. For you to see, just hear
Now I
what he's
have
saying now.
decided to put this cap on. I am now Igbo Yoruba. So choose one. Because I wear this shirt, full straight chair, you adopted as your traditional wear. So I am now Igbo. Now this is Yoruba cap. I hope I am now Igbo Yoruba. Because the first one, because I am Agbo in person, I become Igbo because I wear Ishiago. And now that I put on Yoruba cap on top of my Agbo body, an Igbo full straight chair, Ishiago, I am now Igbo Agbo Yoruba. You people stop fooling yourself. There is nothing I hate more than intellectual dishonest people. Because whatever you people are doing, the truth is that we know how it will end. We know how it will end. And it will not be in your favor, neither in my favor. And so why should we be deceiving our people? No, why? Why? Now, some people sent me video showing Abo people putting on Ishiago. And by implication, they want to tell me that Abo people has agreed that they are Ishiago, they are Igbo. I have no problem with anybody. But you see, the Abo I come from, we are not Igbo people. Yes, we have similarity in culture and tradition, but we are not Igbo people. Because you see the difference between our value system, it is like day and night. No relationship. And that is where they are going to have problem. You know, Nedinwoko know that Anyoma people, under Anyoma people, he is going to have confrontation from Okwani people and Eka people. Why? Because you see, we are not for sale. You see, Eka and Anyoma has preserved the truth about their originality. And there is nothing anybody can do about it.
Now, this is the criminality that the system actually, made for everybody. You grow up and just take your own. Once you grow up, you pick your own, and that is inability to reason. No, no matter how educated, it doesn't matter your result, your certificate, it doesn't matter. As long as you are able to conquer your own, if you like, you go to Cambridge and come back, you'll still pick up this skill, this Nigerian gift of inability to reason. You are now realizing that you're not Igbo, against you, a grown-up man that have broadcast on Radio Biafra, not one, not two, not by mistake, not in his dream, in real life. And he was preaching about Biafra and how we are one people, our mother title, rapper, and everything, which is likely so, it's true. Then, immediately he started having issue with Mazin Namodekano. Okay, so now I realize that I'm not Igbo. In his own little banana brain, he actually believed that saying this thing now was going to hurt Igbo people. And that is why I hate to see somebody celebrating that a normal person or a person or anybody where you come from says that he's Igbo. If you say you're Igbo, it's up to you, your choice. And they would always tell you unity beggars. Deep down their soul, they know that they're Igbo, but they want to provoke you, to irritate you. They will twist it just for that thing, for that singular act. They want you to feel bad, because to them, once they say they're not Igbo, it will irritate you somehow. As if you say you are Igbo, it's going to credit people's account. Nigeria, the game, it can't even. That's the only thing I love about Nigeria. One thing I love about this Nigeria is this: no matter how you want to pretend, when Nigeria want to happen to you, it will happen to you with that just very normal. It will happen to you. You understand? The thing that the injustice in Nigeria is not actually segregated like yes. Our Igbo people are receiving it with, I know. But even no matter how where you find yourself, from corner to are you from deep Fulani, if you like, you don't speak English, speak always from Fude and everything as a Nigerian. You sleep with the green, white, green, and wake up with the green, white, green. One day it will happen to you. And when it happens to you, your eye will clear. You understand? And this man is here trying to tell you, just listen to it, because I have Igbo people also facing identity crisis. Just watch.
But then you will not understand. And that is why this morning I decided to make this broadcast I titled, "It is an error to create a normal state of Nedimoku to Igbo people." It is an error. Whether it is Igbo Biafra, whether it is Igbo Oso, whether it is Igbo Wawawa, whether it is Igbo or Igbo. Once there is Igbo.
He said whether it is Igbo Biafra or whether it is Igbo Oso, because of Kesh Oso. But remember what I told you, inability to reason. Why he singled that name also is because that's what is trending on in their camp. Their camp, their country now is Facebook. Facebook is their country where they gather. If you want to reply them the same message they're giving to you, Facebook Nigeria will rise against your page. You'll be working for nothing. Your video will not get anywhere unless you keep on, maybe you start making more brutal comments that will go outside what you represent. That's why if you hear anything that I open Facebook now, I will not be saying this thing I'm saying here. I may be saying something different there, because I realized I opened it before Facebook, because Facebook actually, they gave every country license. If you live in a country that is racist, you will struggle to have a Facebook page as a Black African. If you live in a country like that Nigeria is controlling, I mean, they have good time. They can't control anybody, but they are sucking Nigeria, because Nigeria cannot suck any country. They are sucking. You live in a country that is making Nigeria, they will censor anything you say about Igbo Biafra. It is there. For this guy to tell you whether it is a normal Igbo, a normal Biafra, or a normal Oso, that is to tell you, because the people of Oso have made themselves willing tools to propagate lies against their ethnicity, simply because they want to prove a point. But I'm not here for Oso people. I'm not here for Oso I don't have issue with Oso people, but I'm not here for Oso issue. But I'm telling you, Facebook is where they are gathering and preaching their, these cockapoo stories, history that never exists. Look at this one here, trying to be more Igbo than Igbo people. There's somebody, according to him here, somebody sending a video of his own people throwing their support and their weight that they're Igbo. Truly they're Igbo. Without them being biased or being political correct or whatever. They are Igbo people. Original Igbo people. There's no two ways about it. I'm not saying it because I want you to be. Who am I to make you to push you to become who you are not? And that I said that you're Igbo does not mean I'm not saying you should become must be Igbo. No. It's up to you. And we are going to arrive at some point, at something this evening. I want us to pay close attention to what we are going to do here, because they used to tell us that, oh, you should elect your people so they will go to National Assembly. How many of you remember the video of you weed smoker called Onowing? That Igbo people will need to go to National Assembly. Once they'll say, Mr. Man, they gave you the allocation, the what is amount to you. What did you do with it? That kind of thing. That's the way he put it. As if Nigerian lawmakers, work like that. They always go against injustice or mismanagement of funds. They will tell you need to elect your people to be in National Assembly and pass a bill and make sure they change the constitution to include referendum. To include referendum, and in that referendum, you will have a provision for you to come out and request for referendum for Biafrans. That is what you need to do. You have to go into politics, join political party, do this and do that, so the Nigerian will now have creating a place in the constitution where you have referendum. These people telling you this thing, They don't want to tell you that even I took Abaka to become a Nigerian, they passed through referendum between Cameroon and Nigeria. And his people chose to be Nigeria. Are you following? Now, they are now reminding us that this is a normal that we are about to create. This is a normal state, which I am actually in support, and I'm coming to that. That this is a normal they want to create now. That some people that are not Igbo speaking in a normal, that they are normal state, that they will be marginalized. They will feel marginalized and all that because they are not Igbo, and this normal is going to Igbo. It's about Igbo. Although everything has to pass through referendum. And I was like, okay. So when do they even add referendum in the Constitution? I thought they said that it's not in the Constitution. So referendum all of a sudden is not in the Constitution. I'm coming. Remember, they have used it in the past. They want to use it again. But let us keep quiet. The same referendum they told you that is not in the Constitution. Nigeria, how dare you to ask federal government to give you a referendum if you want to be in Nigeria or not? That there's no referendum in the Constitution. They have used it before. Now they're not telling you willingly in national TV that referendum will be used without changing Constitution. Okay? And then sometimes you need to be, that's why we do what we do. Not to attack anybody, but to bring reality to you. So you can use your brain and do whatever you want to do. Let us hear from Identity Crisis, the latest Identity Crisis, the presence of Identity Crisis, Nakik Bazwa. Hear him.
That creation of a normal state is an error. But let me bring it down. And a sin for that matter, so that you understand.
We're
having a conversation.
Is a sin for that matter. The bitterness in this guy is just to him. He wants to provoke myself. Since you said this about me, I'm going to destroy everything you do. Mark my word. Remember that kind of mentality. And this thing he's doing now is actually make him to become Biafran, like a real Biafran. Because it takes to be a Biafran to behave like this way. It takes to be an Igbo man to behave this way. There's no two ways about it. As he's doing this, I see more Igbo in him.
And he said to me, but you people are Igbo. If that my friend know how hot I feel inside, he would not have made that statement. But I said, why is it so? He said, because it has always been so. And rightfully so, it has always been so. We have never been talking about it. Meanwhile, the Igbo Biafrans on social media harassing us, insulting us, we will want to point them to the right direction. Maybe I will join the Igbo cap on top of the Yoruba cap in the one Nigeria and the unity beggar so that it can be complete. I think I am now more Igbo. Useless set of people. But let's get it straight.
Now, he remember, like I told you, this guy used to broadcast in Radio Biafra. Then ask him, those times you were broadcasting Radio Biafra, were you Igbo or not? What makes you a Biafra? Why do you join? Are you noticing? Are you following it now? Why did you join Biafra? Why did you talked about Biafra for why? You had something to do with them. Were you kidnapped? No, was somebody forced you? Were you forced or something like that? I don't understand. Anyway, hear him.
It's okay because we've not been talking about it in time past. In our humble way, we are trying to make them understand. Are we not fighting for the unification of Nigeria? But it has to emerge organically. We have to know our weakness. We have to know our strength. We have to fill each other's gap. Organically, everybody will become one. But if you want to politicize it, if you want to manipulate the process, if you want to enforce the process on anybody, in the end, the system will always reject itself. It does not work that way. This is nature. This is nature. Now, considering the shenanigan and hulubalu being created by Senator Ned Nwoko in the guise of creating a Nyoma state, where we know he's a criminal and God allowed him to expose himself, is when he said that Anioma State should be created and given to the Southeast for equity's sake, for fairness sake, so that all the region in Nigeria will have at least 60 states. And that is when he showed himself. So if he had known, he would have been canvassing for Anioma and then hide it underground. I think you see him calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. That shows you everything you need to know about Mbata Azonta, the now leader of the fake wing of Ohanaeze Ndigbo. And that is why you begin to see Ned Nwoko sponsoring touts, gay, lesbians, people without moral dignity, coming to talk for us. It's a shame. Let's see how it goes. So before now, for those of you who don't know Nigeria, and those of you who say...
He actually said something very funny. Let's see how it goes. You say for that, na Chineke bin anyway, na me figa akpa ike. Obido n'oge, we court na to mpia. Do you understand? Obido n'oge court, naturally court na to mpia befi. Because you don't have money. You are not financially, buoyant to start work. The only thing you can do is to buy data broadcast on Facebook. Nothing more. Nothing more. You can't compare yourself with the Ned. You can't compare yourself with people that are doing what is needed to be done. You can't compare yourself with anything meaningful. The worst you can do, what you are doing now is the worst you can do. Nothing more.
You speak Igbo language, you answer Igbo name, you do this one Igbo. Just accept the truth or be fighting with the lies. Let us see how this stands.
You are right. You're 100%.
When Nigeria was created, Igbo people, for instance, did not know Igbo people. And I'm sure Igbo people did not know Igbo people. There are Yoruba there. There are Hausa there. There are so many ethnic groups there. Everybody was on their own. Nigerian came and said, the British came and said, you are Nigeria.
You explain, Taya. I'm done with him. Let's move to another person because I cannot just spend all my time listening to this guy. He's a nobody, to be honest with you. There's no need to waste my time on that. But I have made my point based on what he said. So if you know, you know. A few days ago, we watched Ada. Why is such said something? She was busy attacking Ned Nwoko. Remember the video that we played where Ned Nwoko went to see Ebuka Obi, and that was a very big problem for Why Searcher. She couldn't handle that, right? And some time ago, she mentioned that they advised her to work with Lizzy Kano. Lizzy Kano, after that attack Ned Nwoko, I said, okay, let me watch what her colleague would say. And her colleague did not disappoint. As he said, he will be ranting on social media while Ned will be advancing his plan. The plan is, the news today says that senators, 90 senators, 90 senators have approved that request. 90. It's going to happen. I see it coming. Can you keep quiet? I see it coming. And let's watch.
Senator Ned Nwoko, the senator representing Delta North Senatorial District in the Nigerian Senate, has come out to say that creating more states for Southeasterners will end marginalization of Ndigbo. Creating an Anioma state will give Southeasterners a sense of belonging, a sense of ownership. That's one of the reasons why Southeasterners are crying of marginalization is because we have just 5 states, while other regions have 6 states, 7 states, 8 states, respectively. That there should be peace, there should be equity and justice, and that is why they are proposing seriously that an Anioma state must be created. Senator Ned Nwoko also said that releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will bring a total peace in Southeast and end insecurity that have overwhelmed the region. He also said, he went further to say that the federal government of Nigeria is holding Nnamdi Kanu unjustly. He is being held unjustly. There is no reason why he should continue staying in DSS dungeon. These are the few points, Ned Nwoko, these are the few points what he discussed when he was on Channels TV. I want you to listen to him, then we will come back and discuss further how creating more states will end marginalization of Southeasterners. And I also want to know the benefits of this of creating this Anioma state to Southeasterners. These are what I want to know. But first, let us listen to the senator and the creation of Anioma states. Fondibu.
On the floor of the Senate, and you have argued with your colleagues the need for an Anioma state, and don't even begin the conversation around marginalization, because that's the first thing, because people will say, we have Southwest 6 states, South 6 states, Northeast 6 states, North Central 6 states, Northwest 7 states, but Southeast 5 states. Is that part of the agenda to fix the Southeast that seems to be smaller in terms of the number of states, or what?
Well, almost just over a year ago, I had a meeting with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where I discussed about the problems of Southeast, the insecurity in Southeast. You know, what do we do to address it? And he knows the problems, and he also has an idea. The whole idea is that there should be some level of equity extended to the Igbos of Southeast by having an additional state. It wasn't going to be an easy task, you know, to create one, but it is doable. And I'm happy that we have come this far. The point is this: even at that time, it was understood that the problems of Southeast, the agitations of the youths of Southeast, the killings there, the referring to the ESN groups and ESN and IPOB and the rest of them, these are young people who have come up to say that they are fighting for freedom because they are marginalized. And one of the areas that they've all spoken about and against is the fact that they are the only zone. Southeast is the only zone in Nigeria that has 5 states. Why is that? Why was it done intentionally to undermine them? Of course, yes. And from engaging those youths, it became so obvious that if a step is taken in creating one state, just one state, to bring it apart with the 5 other zones, let's leave Northwest out of this now, at least bring it apart to the 4 other zones, then something would have been done for them. You know, yes, they are clamoring for different things, but I mean, not least, of course, the release of Nnamdi Kanu. They are asking for it. We know that that is something that has to be done. You know, you would just say
Nnamdi Kanu to be released.
Oh yes, yeah, of course.
Why do you think so?
Nnamdi Kanu has been in custody for some time now. I believe that he has been held unjustly. Many people feel that way.
As a lawyer, do you think so?
Oh yes, yes. That
the judicial process is unjust?
Yes, yeah. No, it has been. There's a lot of delays in prosecuting him and all that. If you want to get him tried and convicted, get on with it. You know. But this is a guy who has been held unjustly aside, for so many months.
And the Buhari government started it.
I'm not talking about this government.
Trial. No, so the point I'm even making now.
I'm talking about the previous government under Buhari when
it's facing a judicial process right now.
Yes.
Saying it's just because the argument is that there should be a political solution, maybe a null prosecution. Prosecution should be established on that for the case to be withdrawn. But there are those who say, well, there are allegations and it's left for the law for him to have his day in court, which is in process.
But as you know, there have been some pronouncements by the Federal High Court, which has not been respected. So his incarceration is the main reason for the crisis in Southeast.
But the crisis started before he was even arrested.
No.
The killings, the burning of police station, the killing of police officers and all whatnot.
Well, look, the problem in Southeast is very different from what is said in the Northeast or Northwest and all those areas. The problem in the Southeast has to do with the perceived injustice by governments, successive governments. So what needs to be done? And one of it's why I'm here today, talking about the creation of states to make up the number up to 5. And then you have the release of Nnamdi Kanu. By the time you do these two things, I am almost certain that peace will return to Southeast.
Let me ask you this question, Senator.
I have spoken to so many youths in from Southeast, and they have assured me that that they are prepared to be engaged by us, by the leadership. When this is done, they don't want to die. The youths don't want to die. They want to go back to schools. They want to go back to their jobs. All they want is some level of respect and acknowledgement by the nation, by the government of Nigeria.
Senator Ned Nwoko, first, I want to appreciate you for calling for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and for also admitting that the federal government of Nigeria is holding Nnamdi Kanu unjustly. The reason why I am showing this appreciation is simple. When Nnamdi Kanu brothers, his kinsmen, I'm talking about Ojo Zokalo and Chukwumacha Soludo, when they were on this same channel TV, the journalists asked them about Nnamdi Kanu, the same way when they asked the senator about Nnamdi Kanu, Ned Nwoko. When they asked Ojo Zokalo, what can you say about this Nnamdi Kanu case? What do you think about the political solution where people they talk about for long? Ojo Zokalo said, please, I don't want to discuss this matter. Hold your peace, journalist. If the reason you called me for this your TV station now to discuss Nnamdi Kanu case, I beg, it is better I take a walk. Because Ojo Zokalo is a coward who could not open his mouth to discuss matter where concern his own brother from his own state. I want you to understand what is playing out here. It is maybe if Ojo Zokalo is in PDP, they will say, oh, say he there for PDP. If he was in PDP, rather, he can easily discuss, he will be free to discuss Nnamdi Kanu. But say he there for the same party with Tinubu. So if he talk about Nnamdi Kanu in favor of Nnamdi Kanu, it will look like he's snitching on the president, where both of them did for the same party. But this Ned Nwoko did for APC as well. Ned Nwoko was once in PDP. He cross-carpeted and presently he's in APC. And he was not even afraid of the so-called president. He boldly told them the truth that Nnamdi Kanu is being held unjustly and he should be released. Soludo, when they asked him about Nnamdi Kanu, what did he say? He said, please, re-electing me, my election in November is more important, more than discussing Nnamdi Kanu. They cowardly shoved the question asked by the journalist away. But this is what Ned Nwoko did, and that is why I'm saying thank you to him. Now let us go to the subject matter of today. Let's go to the main topic. And I am going to rope the marginalization he raised and Nnamdi Kanu matter and also the creation of an Anioma state. Why I want to add all these things together is because if you listen very, very keenly, there was something he said that one of the reasons for the agitation, the calling for Biafran state or separating from Nigeria, is because of this 5 states where we get for Southeast. And there is need, the moment you create more states, you will now give them that sense of ownership, like I am part of these people. More like, I know that's 3 hours where would they talk about. Also, they have not rehabilitated, they have not reintegrated these people. This region have not been reintegrated into Nigeria. So that is what Ned Nwoko is trying to imply, and that is why they are seriously, they said they are going to conduct a referendum. The Anioma where they want to create, and the 5 states where they for Southeast, they will conduct a referendum, and the majority carries the vote. They will determine whether there is need to create Anioma states. They are really pushing the Anioma state to make it 6 states for Southeast, and this Anioma state is going to be coming out from Delta. Ned Nwoko, in as much as I appreciate your boldness in speaking about Nnamdi Kanu, there are pertinent questions I would also love to ask about this.
Before she asked that pertinent question, remember that this is a woman who came out and said that Biafrans abroad are jobless people for kicking against P2B, campaigning or disturbing Igbo land because they want to contest presidency of Nigeria. This woman here. She did it. Now, Ned Nwoko talking about pushing, for a normal state creation is a problem to her. It's not a problem to me. And I will tell you my reason why I'm in support of that. Ndị oten ndị be anyị na-agba mbọ ka akpọkọnata ndị Igbo, because even na Biafran map, ebe a niile na Ifeanyi Ọma kịta nọ na Biafran map, ọ nọ there na-ege ekwentị. Mana ajụjụ a na-adị na-ajụ abụ ndị ekwetego na gị na fa bụ ofu. Akwa ege ntị, fa ekwetego na gị na fa bụ ofu. Ndị a ebo ogi ebugala fa ka fa na bịagote kedu na bịagote nwanne ya, ọ gịnị na-eme? Ọtụtụ n'ime fa na-ekwu na fa bụrụ ndị Igbo, ọtụtụ na-ekwu na fa bụ ndị Igbo, mana ọ ka mma na ime fa na ha waji aka fa wee zaa ya ajụjụ, and the best way ịzawa ya ajụjụ bụ that state creation. Ọka bụ Biafra issue mba, ọkwa fa nchọrọ ikreti steeti n'aka, ha ka ha kreti that ikreti ya ga-emezi amana ma ndị a na ndị Igbo ọnụ kafa nọ. Ịghọtago the thing na ya ka ndị support ya ma kwesị ike na ya ha kreti go there first. Ọ ga-solve a lot of things from that. Ọ ga-emezi ndị nke ọzọ ka nọ na Akwa Ibom na ndị na Rivers ga-ebido chụọzi na achọghị mma nakwa ụmụnne m ka anyị nọ odoga ya na. Mana this political enabler nke a n'ebe a kparịchara ndị Igbo na fa bụ jobless na abroad because a na-agwa Peter Obi apụta n'ife ọ na-aga dọrọ mma. She don't care now, right? Maybe she cares because I watch her, anytime I have chance. But I don't think anybody question, if you open Igbo, you will question Ned Nwoko. I'm forgetting yourself on the women because you don't understand. You don't, and this our brother called Namen TV. Credit to him. That guy, that Igbo state guy. That guy, Ndi was supposed to that guy award. Namen TV. Platform had huge, but he really tried. And we have some of our brothers and sisters from different parts of Ndi Igbo. Okay? Not at Delta. None are Rivers at different places. Way to go. This is even that in my own. And I may follow most of them. Those top ones, I follow them. That guy, I will play his video before we continue. Let me bring his video first before we continue. Because I'm the reason in the beginning, I'm a friend you go never happy because have followed this guy on YouTube. I know why. Okay, gain Tifo Kulaba. Are they to make you happy as an Igbo, as a so-called Igbo? He's their Igbo. Just that somebody just will like fake history where would you and in that if na bamba this are normal on the in the Yoruba both man on media Ruben and Batify I will still play the video here Fanchana and that against it. I think it will be more fruitful to educate them with the history down to the remote area. The best we made that education if I had because Nedwoko knows the history. All of them know the history. That they kept quiet. What if I get it here? How will this if I actually did one? Was anybody kept a joke? Kamana Benaboke. Open on the put for this another state. Your mouth is Manaka Fajaka when family Igbo. Open on dinner from one man from Anambra because they a man from Anambra Abra, Yendugu, or a boy. Before they could have secret another state will tell you I have a normal one night. They will say that you are Igbo unity better. Manaka Fajaka when Eku. Ibana doesn't say from Igbo state, I look Anambra, then I'm my own and I call you know. I don't like it. Let the state be created. Because if you create here, Ojo Mama be found wag. Okay, yeah, this identity crisis will solve 80% of identity crisis from the Bagara side in our water the point. Because if the man has but you're Igbo, you are not really Igbo, you're Igbo sound. If you game to the Bible, in case if you join me when we started, I played this song. Wait, let me play it.
I'm waiting n'obodo akwa akwụna akwụkwọ ụdọ.
Ha wetile ego.
I'm waiting n'obodo akwa akwụna akwụkwọ ụdọ.
Ha wetile ego.
I'm waiting n'obodo akwa akwụna akwụkwọ ụdọ.
Ha wetile ego. Ha wetile.
Now, the reason why I played this song, this from Abia State, I struggle to hear most of the things they are saying here as an Igbo person. I understand some, but not all, because they are speaking their dialect. If I speak my own, they may struggle to hear some. You get my point? Just a moment. Just a moment. Hear this, our brother first.
I said that I'm an Igbo person. You that is not an Igbo person, you started crying. Why they paying you? What is the language of Okwane people? Igbo. What is the language of Enuane people? Igbo. What is the language of Ika people? Igbo. You be Lebinu person, you be Yoruba person. You leave your place. They tell we Anema people say we not be Igbo. Shame on you. You wanna go cry because Igbos are uniting massively. The awakening in Igbo land now is too much. No, they feel say Diokpa. Oh, when they nabuano. No, they feel say because of one or two Kwane people, one or two.
Before God and man, I come and read. I'm working for you and that from Abia State. In Egenti now. And that one now, Igbo this person kita. Igbo ya kita. Igbo na say. I understand it better than Kabia. Do you understand it now? But you see some people. Igbo boy. You know, my own noku and your man will be great. You know to understand them. And this is why I have respect so far, to be honest with you, with DPM. On those kind of discussions, she don't have time for that. She just focus on what she's doing. Now, this will help you. This, Ned will gonna solve a problem. The monarchy. Because he had kind of cook a kembe. Some of the Bible say, no, 5 states I go, 5 states go. We are about 1 day. Now with this, didn't work on the way take it. On the cook and master. Just the insult not be here. Even the video of female dog couple video was as Sima. Now patch the work. All these people, you can Guru Ago and all of them, their problem. These people, the land, the rest of them, they don't like it the work. Why? Because on the cook na normal state. So in call the cook no even the Gakose accusation, you could say man over political statement. I got to give everything now. Or everything must everything be explained to you. I'm not just not if any I will give everything. Always think get you to go and manifest the come again. Okay, so no competency. Just give me a number. Say no. What do you have banana? I cannot know before police. They them. They buy which one there. Which one? Anybody they kick again. I know they like them. The thing is that now even the current Biafran map, it will help to solidify it. Oh, you put why do you put my community in your map? Okay, from Barangaho, you buy there. It will stop. And then because
online, they thought they're not Igbo people. You they laugh like mumu. You are failing, all of them are failure. You can't stop us. If one of
repeat it again, I like mumu.
You that is not an Igbo person, you started crying. Why they paying you?
As
what is
yes,
the language of Okwane people? Igbo. What is the language of Enuane people? Igbo. What is the language of Ika people? Igbo. You be Lebinu person, you be Yoruba person. You leave your place. They tell we Anema people say we not be Igbo. Shame on you. You wanna go cry because Igbos are uniting massively. The awakening in Igbo land now is too much. No, they feel say Diokpa. Oh, when they nabuano. No, they feel say because of one or two Kwane people, one or two.
Emanifo Gunan, Diokpa, no, they're nabuano. Odimka of my village. Don't go when they nabuano. Gent Kenya.
Equate people they online, they thought they're not Igbo people. You they laugh like mumu. You are failing, all of them are failure. You can't stop us. If one or two person from Okwane thought they be Igbo, nothing can change them. They be Igbo, be say they be Igbo. You know what I understand?
Nice journey.
Okay, sir. They be Igbo, be say they be Igbo. You can't stop Igbo unity. See as everybody, majority of Okwane people now they thought they be Igbo people. Majority of Ika they thought they be Igbo. Majority of Ikwere they thought they be Igbo. So what did they make you feel? Say you were they outside Igbo land, you were they Bini, you were they Yoruba. Go divide us where they here. You know fit. What are they telling us? They say all of now where they fight Igbo unification. On our mind not go touch ground. Body go the pepper on you can't stop Igbo unification. You see Anyaman State at the bank of people, all of us they go southeast. You can't stop it. If he pay you where? Go north transformer. If the pain is severe, go forth and die.
So, let's go back to the main.
One, what positive impacts will this Anioma states? What impact is it going to create in the life of an average Easterner? What are we going to gain? Is there something, aside the fact that you say other states have 6 states, 7 states, and now we have only 5 states? I want to understand what this Anioma state, how this Anioma state will end the marginalization. This Nnamdi Kanu that you said is being held unjustly, do you think that the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is suffering is because that we have only 5 states in the southeast? Is that what the senator is telling us? Because that is what I'm understanding from what I watched. That we need more states. Is that the reason why Nnamdi Kanu has been suffering for over 4 years? I don't think so. The calling of Biafra, let us have Biafra. Do you also think that this Biafra, the reason why we need to break away from Nigeria to have our own sovereign state, was that the reason why Ojukwu went and fought, why Ojukwu fought this 3.5-year war, just to have more states? I still don't think so. Maybe these people don't really understand the marginalization. When we say marginalization, they don't understand it from the aspect or from the context we are also coming from. They don't understand them from our own perspective. They are understanding it maybe the way where their own head they carry them. That is the way they are understanding it. Creating more states is even a burden to Southeasterners, because the already existing states, the ones where they exist now, the states we have in Southeast, are they really viable? Like, are they working? Those 5 states where we get, are the governors delivering on their mandate?
Now, but the P2B have already served as one of the governors, and you are busy pushing him to become president. Do you understand? If I get question, you are tackling your own. I'm not tackling anything here. I just want you to understand it, because the creation of a normal state is more important to the Southeast than P2B becoming a president. Let me repeat myself. Creation of that normal state in Ekuna is more important than P2B becoming Nigerian president. Which they president? Who president they help? Ejo bejiri weke wesisi agi no chachiche ego boro. Kepugi ke tulichi unu ko umuazu. Ina agbari. If one day na aza Chukwudi from River State or say na ablo ko you. Na papa ya gwa na abo ebini. You guys speak Bini language. Or say yes, that's you need to understand. Creation of a normal state, whether you like it or not, is far better than P2B emerging as a Nigerian president. Which president? P2B was president. It's any good thing on social media. I got banned again because what gonna make a Kafka then I serve off for his second term. Equal Kumaka Igbo self sanction. Yes, I will actually give you an yourself. P2B never will condemn with destruction of Igbo property in Lagos. Yeah, of course, because not with Lagos as a Ebona contest. Yoruba said no, is an insult to them in their own land. I'm not saying that it's his fault that he wanted Tinubu dead, but he should stand as a man and defend his people. Only when demolition touch his own siblings, he knows he automatically knows how to go to Lagos. Go back, may headline news. Who does that? I don't care whether he's president or not. This is not my problem. Everyone have the reason why they support our normal state. Personally, I support it with everything in me. Why? Because I'm about that now. This identity issue, so and the so-called Igbo people are struggling to solve it. The best way to solve it, and you can't take it away from them. I have been confronted by people from Yoruba years back about an argument of this issue of Delta people, Igbo, that we are one. They will tell you we are not. We are not. Issue, you see, if Nigerian government is good for everybody, this idea of talking about creation of another state wouldn't have come up. Only that I can already contented with whatever they are doing. But I had a because of the way Nigeria is to see me now. And the man also one man on our organic in our water. It is far better than all these things. Now, his own side of the story, her own side of the story, rather.
Don't you think that you are creating more states is even creating more chaos and creating an avenue for embezzlement? Because when you create more states, you have a governor in the state, you have senators, you have House of Reps members. Is it not a burden? There are so many things. There are reasons. The reasons why Southeasterners are crying of marginalization is because of non-inclusivity into the Nigerian state. The Igbos have not been included in Nigeria yet. The Igbos are seriously sidelined in Nigeria. The name Igbo irritates an average Nigerian. That is what we are talking about. They see the Igbos as 50th-class citizen. In fact, they said that their car will come first before a Southeasterners. That is why currently we don't have seaport in the Southeast. We don't have a viable international, a working international airport. There are so many federal presence that is lacking in the Southeast. Federal roads in the Southeast have been abandoned. When they want to appoint people, they will look at Southeasterners and give them small position and leave the bigger share, more like the lion share, the bigger meat. They will leave it for other region. They see Southeasterners not even as last born, as a house help, as a maid in the family. Southeasterners are being seen as maid in Nigeria. So this is what we are talking about. No,
I thought that this woman is sensible. How to make it P2B, a man that will give you economy, a man that will create job opportunity, a man that before any creation of anything, you have to go through Senate. And creating another state, McCarthy believe in Nigeria will work someday. Okay? For you to have a better trial, you need to also have this state so that you can have more representatives there from that new state, which will simply means to increase more number of the people representing you there in the federal, so that by this new issue of creating a new seaport and international airport, those things can come through from that. But my main target is not about it. My main target is what I just said, to solve identity crisis, which have not been solved for a very long time. And it will help to solidify the Biafran map. Whether you like it or not, it will help to solidify the Biafran map, because now it is well accepted, well known by everybody. That useless argument. Why are you including? Why do you add my land in your state, in your 5 plots? Oh, I'm not a Biafran, though. No, I'm not a minority, body shaping another people that is far better than them. But now they have found their feet as Igbo people. One language, one people, one identity, and you can see what that means. Many people from Anambra, from Enugu, from Ebonyi, from Abra would have been saying the same thing that somebody from Ikoro would be saying to them if they are being carved to somewhere, maybe to Akwa Ibom or to any other state. They'll be telling you, no, I'm not Igbo. I'm not Igbo. This you guys with your Biafran, count me out. But as long as in Cameroon, because of the clear in English, in Cameroon, and Kaka game code ga code no ka na ife popota. Na ebe a na-aga na ebe a na-ekwu dị na ife achọrọ ime na ebe ọ ife a ga-abụ bifo ga-apụta. Ọ uche bụ akpa onye ọbụla yara nke ya. Ị ga-eyuzu uche gị ịghọta ife a na-ekwu maka ya. Okay? Hi, non-inclusivity. Abia na non-inclusion. Tina, this is not the English class. I'm na ị ga-atụchara nga. This is not. As I tell if we go to non-inclusivity, is part of it, you know.
Creation of state. The more you create state, the more confusion you are creating. The more confusion you are bringing in the region. Nnamdi Kanu is not fighting for more state creation. He is fighting for the Igbo's inclusivity, and he feel that there is no way the Igbos will be included in Nigeria, and that is why separating this referendum you are calling to create an Ioma state. Is it not better you call for a referendum to determine whether Nigerians want to remain in Nigeria or not? So I don't think creating an Ioma state will end marginalization in the region. What we need in our region is, many of us have decided that Nigeria is an evil entity.
Nigeria is an evil entity that you are pushing to go and be the president of evil entity. And you said that you don't think it's a problem. So this girl, you are not even worried that your brothers are not with you. To you, it's not. You don't know that that's a way of conquering you as a tribe. Oh, you guys are landlocked. Oh, you guys don't have waterway. There's no oil. There's not all this nonsense. Do you know that? Mmadụ na Neoma at number nke ka dị na Imo State or nke dị na Enugu State. You idea? Maka ndị like Rigo and outside, I have a plot of land in Lagos. Gakwa ga chọrọ and I go in Delta State. You like before you call it, you not call it. Uche get there well.
We want out. And that is why the House of Reps members, the senators, as a matter of urgency, should start including referendum in the Nigerian constitution, because they say they have amended this constitution several times. I am yet to see the referendum included in the constitution. Trash that 1999 constitution. Let referendum be like ASAP included in that constitution, and let the people decide whether they want to stay or not. As far as I'm concerned, Nigeria or the region will remain the way it is until something drastic, a drastic action is being taken. And that action is, let us decide whether we want to remain or not. Whenever they are bringing money to do all those their rail line, they will not include Southeast. When they budget money to construct new roads, federal roads, the Southeast will be taken out of the paper. Whatever they are doing, anything they are doing in other regions, Southeast must be excluded. And that is what we are talking about. Not creation of a Anioma state, and not creating more confusion in the name of creating states. And I summarize by saying, Nnamdi Kanu is not in DSS custody. Nnamdi Kanu is not agitating for Biafra because of 5 states. He's not agitating because we have only 5 states. He's agitating because of a bigger problem. A bigger problem that even you are not seeing. Thank you for watching.
Okamota has fast with Zidaka where kept from Igbo people. Fajugolaka catch the queer back. In our water, it is far better. No, this thing has nothing to do with Biafra. It has nothing to do with Biafra. It's actually helping indirectly, like I said before. So to me, I don't think it is an issue. It's a very welcome development. In my own opinion, it's a very welcome development. Then let's go to this video. Just a moment. Let me bring this video up.
Last week, the Joint Committee of the National Assembly on Constitutional Review approved the creation of an additional state for the Southeast Geopolitical Zone. The committee also agreed to revisit the over 278 pending requests for new local government areas and 55 proposals for new states, noting that a new...
Madam Origin says something very shocking. I'm coming. She said, I agree with Lizzie 100%. Now they should pursue how to get us out. Nnamdi Kanu is against not for... Nnamdi Kanu is agitating not for 5 states in the Southeast. Okay, Madam Origin, what do you think should be the best way to solve this identity issue that is going on? Because in Biafra map, Anioma, all these towns, all these local government, all these places that mentioned that will make up Anioma state is part and parcel of Biafra map. All right, and some of them are, they don't want to hear from you that is from 5 states, the current 5 states in that make up Igbo Southeast. They don't want to hear anything from you. When you are telling them that we are one, then some of them, a huge number of them don't believe you. To them, you are the one begging for them to join you. I don't know when you joined us. A man called George Oribe that I played here. He's from Abo. And he said the same thing in this video is here with me. He said the same thing, that unity beggars. I don't think this is the first time you are hearing that word, unity beggars. So I would like to hear from you. What do you have to say? Or what do you think should be the best way? Because Ikemba, Omambala, and Odumegu are conducting the election, right? So do you have governor from Delta, from that part? Because what I'm saying is this, and I go too. We have tried to see if there's any way you can make them to realize who they are, the Delta. You imagine it's very, very hot. It's very, very painful. Like to me, seeing somebody that is from Igbo tribe, from Anoma, Abo, Igbo speaking Delta part and all that, telling you that they are not Igbo, that in the Igbo, these are these Igbo people self. And these have been like that for ages. It has been like that for ages. So what do you think should be done for them to become who they are? I'm just asking genuine question because this is your comment. I would like to know more because I'm busy. To me, she's contradicting herself, which we all know. Okay, so but let's go to that part.
The formed subcommittee will handle additional reviews, while many are calling for the creation of a Neoma state, which has gained momentum. A chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Kenneth Okonkwo, has urged the Southeast to narrow its state creation agenda to Adada state. Okonkwo made the calls on Monday during the morning show, saying Adada state, with its capital in Nsukka, remains the most suitable choice. Joining us on this show to discuss the National Assembly's approval of the creation of a new state in the Southeast is Kenny Okolugbo, strategic communications consultant to the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio. Good morning, Ken Okolugbo. Hello.
Good morning, Ruben Abati. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Well, very quickly.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So because of what I said, I have to send the link for Madam Origin in case if you don't mind. If you have time, please. I want you to teach us, please.
Okay.
Thank you for honoring our invitation. State creation. We're arm of the view that we don't need states, additional states, that we need to get these states viable to make sure that they are centers of productivity rather than centers of consumption. The ones we have are getting more money under President Tinubu. What are they even doing with the money? And now we say we will create more centers of consumption. And the kind of danger that informs that position is what is happening now. Kenneth Okonkwo came here, he said, oh, you should
What happened? I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I moved myself. I was reading a comment from Tina. Okay. Let's hear from you before I go to the back to Tina. You're welcome.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Mr. Kai. I know where you're coming from. I also know where Lisa is coming from. I was laughing when you were saying, oh, he was all for Peter Obi, and I laughed. I said about a year now, you will have said the same thing about me. Because Lisa is, I believe she is a Biafran at heart, and she wants Biafra. She loves Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why she didn't like I keep telling everyone that has been with Prime Minister Simon Ekpa should anyone that come back is because they have realized that they were all lied to. So when you look at what Lisa is saying, she is saying categorically that our major problem is the entity called Nigeria. And that is the truth. They are the ones that pisses Igbos all over the place. They are the major problem is the entity called Nigeria. So if we get I tell you, it's a matter of 1 year. It's about a matter of us when we get out of Nigeria completely. Our history will piece everybody together. But let's say, for example, we are looking for this band-aid. They now create a Anioma and everybody relax. it's not going to solve our problem. It's not going to stop the marginalization. It's not going to stop the inclusivity, like she said. It is not going to stop all the, all of the things she talked about. So I kind of believe that like I said, during the time I followed up with every court case with Vitobi. I was advocating that they should give him what belongs to him. So at that time, I'm not even aware of what is going on in.
But what is it? You of all people?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So when that's why I was all those people that were talking one day. I like, okay, these new people. I say, so are you going to drive the new people away? I believe that Lisa is a Biafran at heart, and I believe that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out, you hear how she advocates for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Anybody that advocates for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is advocating for what Prime Minister Simon Ekpa believes in. It's just that I tell you, it was evil. This entity meant evil to us as Biafrans, as Igbos, because the kind of blackmail, the kind of what they showed and they portrayed the people, the hate that people had on Prime Minister Simon Ekpa was that they pitched the people that love and believe in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu against Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. They said that Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, all he was doing was to take away it was like he was an imposter. And so a lot of people didn't like him because they felt that he was undermining Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I told you, it was on a platform there where it was just, but because I know that Nigeria as a government, they are evil, they lie. So I began to dig and say, this man, they wanted to destroy this bad. There is something. So I started searching. When I started looking for Prime Minister Simon Ekpa was when on a platform they were dissecting him and like, he need waiting, they no go do him. So I believe strongly that Lisa is passionate for Biafra and wants Biafra. That's why she is believing that what Ned Nwoko is looking for is not practically the best thing for us now. The best thing for us is out. So now tell me, you can tell me whatever you want to say.
Okay, Madam Origin. I understand you, but to be honest with you, man, you see Lisa or Lizzie, I don't believe she's for Biafra, and I don't believe she loves Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I also disagree with what she said, because if you want to put it that way, it can only make sense to me if this Biafra is about the current five states. Do you understand what I'm talking about? But as long as the map stress to those places that we all know, we also need to do all we can for them to understand, to identify who they are and everything, for them to, so it will make more sense. And there's a reason why, if we no, like bed, feed in the way, and you need to also change your step. Omambo tis aga with your normal kiges we naga each dive where catch you give the native to naga over na you have to change everything about you for you to catch a bird. Okay, unless maybe you want to spread net, but as long as you want to catch it with your bare hand, you have to change everything, your movement, you have to do that. Now the map, diaphragm map, is not about the community, the town within 5 states. We all know this. And the journey of a Tanzan's mind begins with one step. I'm not saying that this Anioma creation will stop agitation. There's no way. It's not possible. If you like, you create 7 new states for Southeast. But I cannot just come out and begin to advocate on that because I know what I will benefit from that creation of Anioma state. And I'm not even there nowhere. My family, but a politician call. Oh, you have a politician. And you need to respect that politician. If that na ihe abụọ na ọ ga-akwụsa agitation na ọ ga-akwụsa nka akwụsa cause ya nọ n'owu ya mana ọ bụla eziokwu mana ka account go dey first that our brothers that are from riverine area.
Honestly, if our so-called politicians and senators and House of Rep, if they get brain, or what they should be seeking for is how to get out of the contraption. So for
Madam Origin, all the guy, he gave us a go. Adima, I want to forget more. You got to go. Man, I want to that na. What the guy kaya in on America. What the guy is back. In our so each gonna na the America na Nigeria. Or if each. Ima hondi do she again because you don't understand. And ha ga-ekwu maka ndị uwe ojii uwe ịmakịta na iwu na gịnị ka ichere eji eme mmadụ arrest na maka Biafra chọrọ maka na the word Biafra na amafe ọra n'obi na Igbo no ha ma na this Biafra na-ekwu na ọ ga stop many things ha na-eme enjoy so gịwa na-ekwu ka ha champion n'ọrụ gị ka gwa gị ekwuere gị maka Biafra na National Assembly ga-asụkwa ị na-ekwu esef ha ga-ese onye ga-afụ onye na-egbube mmadụ n'ụwa ya ọ ga-egbu mmadụ because of that. To make sure that stop or go and shut it down. You just shut up.
I have a question for you after that.
Okay, please go on with your question.
My question to you is now that we have redeclared Biafra and we are seeking for recognition, if tomorrow America said, oh, we recognize Biafra and now Burkina Faso, we are having a good diplomatic relationship, and Canada will easily, give us a pass. And what use is the Anioma now? The pursuant of Anioma.
But just if man on the abo equal one I put and have a good Igbo and I have one first. And down and I found a better na map. How put the good he could be. How can I see all what is why? You could go equal Macamas number can have second on Nibu kind of up and I wasn't on a Bendigo kind of queer. And I American tie upon in on a social media it tie and a nega from a bendy you're gonna go for that now. Nunu go to put this no man na give go start home na bo o ku ifa na kwa fa na ka we get correct ifa mana ogwa ani na ano o bu ni gele tie oge na bo video nsima all say that na you na mo the kind one of offense na mo kind we not here akwa ibom na map all for them and George Oyibe video never from Abo and many of them even though their voice is very very minor. But this kind of talk. Ha no one never be feeling because and my boss I never because ha na nafa their kinsmen are now dealing with them, which is so I want to target that. Nazi amayo no nia owo meaning. And I can go now. Each and you got to look at defense. If you ever use US or USB government may comment about it. No, because it's not that they don't even care about whether you create a state. If you like a split then you go into 4, split the number into 7. Or if I have all their problem. USB no lower fighting. This has to do with the USB. The new finance USB. Man, how a jackafa will cook go the state, keep the one Kelefa waiting death and all that. Now, what you got when they catch the one eye back. Why I get just stop on here? Oh, it's just about thinking the car will like a method. But at the end of the day, I am a band. I come up on that.
Oh, out of the angle. I now see where you're coming from. Okay.
What's all I want? adị m ekwu okwu na anyị ga-eturo party celebrate mba abụrụ ka m na-ekwu kama na ife na-ekwu bụ that na anyị nidiri ịma ndị be anyị ndị ahụ because ama m argument mụ amegodo social media maka oh I am Igbo, oh I am not Igbo. You ask them what's your name, my name is Chijoke. Chijoke what? Chijoke Okoro. Okay, Chijoke Okoro. My grandfather is Ume and my mother is Adamma, but I am not Igbo. I mean, will make your sense. Manaka someone ya na-agwazi ase nna ọkọmana gị na-adọ mụ na gị nọ na meeting anyị bụ ndị abụ m Igbo anyị na-egesi na ọ dị ife maka and ọkụ maka USB na declaration ifo na wata bụ ife menu ejiri iche na nọgide Kio steeti ị ga-ajụ n'oge why jụrụ edize isi kịta ama ọdebụkwu m na-aga ị ga-ajụ oge why o jụrụ edize izi ikepụ steeti a kịta ọ hapụla since ife a na-agwa since 19 I think this all of 70s or 60s ka a na-epush maka Anioma steeti ọbọkwa ife taa mana why o jụrụ edize easy kita and I pass the bill aka old newspaper for one certain time ebe the na each time more na ekwute okwu Biafra give them another state on federal Nigerian pattern also if I fed the if you go buy it down in the game month now so all I can do like ya and so that Otobo Suwedi, he would go to the state. Each go to the state where maybe go to Kaimata go to one nine they deny their identity. Kaimata go truly, they are not coming back to their real self. And dog the message they can my own social media and I can yaki you that buchion. The road is very, very open. You can enter road and locate to wherever you want to go. It's entirely your business. I'm a master going if you job.
Yeah, I now see where you're coming from, which is all win-win. So bottom line, avoid putting mouth so that we don't make it look like we don't support it. By all means, I support Anioma State. They, if they carry it out, it's exclusively. Now if they put it in Southeast, it's for them to now accept that yes, we know that you all have been Igbos, follow your brethren. I see where you're coming from.
Thank you. And also to give Biafra this Lizzie in a book where why I said that Lizzie don't love Mazanakan. There's no way you love Mazanakan and hate PM. There's no way. And there's no way you say you love Mazanakan and you are campaigning for presidency. And another day you are campaigning for another thing.
That is what you think. Oh, that's what you think.
Sorry?
That's what you think.
Me?
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm not campaigning for anything. I'm telling you, I'm not interested in the you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that thank God though Anioma is the best thing to do now. No. What I'm saying is that these people from Delta State, they have been saying they are not Igbo. And one of the reasons why we are still struggling to go is that we want all the Igbo tribe, are you getting me now, to come together as a Biafran. We want our people back. Those they carved out, let them come back. So if you say that that's what I'm saying, that means that's what Mazanakan have been singing. Because
no, that is not what I'm saying. He said you can't love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and hate Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. That's what I said. You may be wrong.
Okay, that I'm wrong on that one.
You may be wrong, yes, because why I'm saying it is that for those of you that transitioned from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, it will be difficult for you to, see someone loving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and not, because from the beginning, you cut division. But I tell you, from, there was a lot of people that did not like Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. A lot of them that love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was because of the poisoning the narrative from the Nigeria states on what they said Prime Minister Simon Ekpa represents. So, and it is difficult for you to comprehend it, but I'm telling you from where I came in from. I told you it was just the only thing, because I almost believed, because personally, I cannot speak about something I have not found the facts that I will present by myself through my research. So when that heated argument came on the platform where I was, and everybody was bashing Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, and the way they were saying it, I believed in me that there must be a level of government propaganda in it. That was why I now started researching to hear this guy myself.
The truth is that all the propaganda is not actually originated from government. It originated from those called DOS. And anybody that followed Mazen Khan on his own without being a member of IPUB, DOS, or whatever, you used to listen to Mazen Khan those days in 2002, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, until 2021 when he was kidnapped. There is no way you will get confused. There's no way you will be like, no, they confuse me, propaganda or propaganda. No. DOS, they knew that PM Masamaneba is genuine. The only problem they have with PM is that he is stopping their source of livelihood. Nothing more, and they don't expect them to come out and tell you. No, the best way to push him away is to blackmail him, call him no manner of ugly name, and put it on him and say that he's this, he's that.
Okay,
I am not.
Let me ask you this. I know, like I was telling you, I said you are talking from the person that, okay, think about someone that has been nothing, has not had nothing about. I have heard about a Nnamdi Kanu that is agitating, and I'm minding my business, doing manning and caring for all that I care about, my family and all that, where I am. Yeah. And now something brought me into a research, and I was looking, and I now began to listen to. I started with listening to Mazi Nnamdi, and I'm like, oh my God, look at, and I'm like, wow.
Do you mind to tell us when you started listening to Mazi Nnamdi
Khan? The funny thing is, it wasn't even with Mazi Nnamdi Khan. It was during this last election that Peter Obi was involved. I didn't start from the beginning. Something happened. I'm not gonna discuss it. So I'm like, what is going on? I began to now listen, and like, something is wrong here. So I was like, nobody should do this to anybody. Why should this large, and my heart was on the youths. I'm like, why should this youth suffer? Why should they suffer and vote? I remember everybody in my family in Nigeria voted. My sister was under rain. She fell sick. He was under rain. After that voting, she was sick because they stood under the rain. And after that, someone came and snatched it overnight. I was like, no. This injustice it don't pass elbow. So
you see, your own is different from other people, and you just from what you said now, you actually validate what I was saying, because Lizzie, for example, she's not new. She listens to Mazi Khan. Her so-called love to Mazi Khan, I think it's something that has to do with maybe personal, maybe relation, maybe. I think she's maybe a distant cousin to Mazi Khan. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know, not because of his preaching. No, I don't think so. Lizzie may love Mazam Kano, but he's far, far away from loving him, loving Mazam Kano based on his preaching and what he stands for. Because like your own, you don't pay attention to what Mazam Kano was talking about. Like from what you said now, you just mind your business, you are just living your life, which is okay. And when you joined, when you started picking interest, you did not jump from nowhere. You just go back to the drawing board and begin to do your research to find out who is who. And today, here you are. Because you care. Because you are not just somebody who wants to jump into conclusion. You said to do your assignment, and you did it, and look at you today. Then you can't compare yourself with Lizzie, who used to listen to Mazam Kano life, who understand what PM represent, who followed what DS represent, their ration and their activities. Are you getting what I'm saying? So your own is totally different. Even at that, you still make a better decision than her. So the so-called love of Mazam Kano is, to me, is just a mere talk. There's no love. There's nothing whatsoever. She don't. You know, when people be, because most people don't know why people don't like P2B. My own is that I don't hate him. I'm not saying that he's not going to make it, that he's not qualified to become Nigerian president. No, but I already know because of the system, and I'm not saying it because of P2B. Anybody that want to contest as president, I will say the same thing. You are going there to disgrace yourself because the system is not going to give you that privilege. And guess who will suffer? Our people living outside the land will bear the consequences. If imagine if P2B is the one that removed the subsidy, you think you just end this way? Tinubu and Yoruba people will flood the streets, protesting against hunger and all that, causing problem, and Igbo property will be decimated on that because the hatred is already there. That's why I said him coming out to contest as the president will put danger on our people. But those who don't understand how Nigeria works are the one making argument about, no, he's our brother. Even if he's going to lead Nigeria for one week, let him do. It's not possible. No matter how good he appears to be, you can't. And they're looking for a way to fight you, to destroy your properties, to kill you even. They are doing it now, even with what they do. You know, Yorubas are protesting against Tinubu their own. Imagine Yoruba 4 people. You think they will not protest against P2B very, very aggressively by shutting down and destroying properties that belong to Igbo people? Look at what they're doing now, just that he won Lagos State. That one, the animosity that these people have in mind about that one, you cannot imagine it when he emerged as a president and this is not going well. These are a group of people that protest against Jonathan, who is being perceived as not the original Igbo. But when it has to do with anything that has to do with Nigeria, that connect to Nigeria, they will tell you that his name is Ebere Chukwu Jonathan. And therefore, they have to pay him back because somehow he related to Igbo people. So this is my own side of the story. This is my personal opinion. And I cannot, you are very, 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 different from Liz. So you say, don't say that you believe her, you trust her 100%. You understand her 100%. No, because both of you are different people. Lizzie is doing her job. If you're a madam, if I be for job, just like you are now, you already know COS. You are here when Biafran was declared. You can see that you know a lot about what is going on. So if tomorrow now you come out and start saying that no, this yes, we declared Biafra truly, but we need to fall back. Why didn't you fall back, if I may ask? You did not fall back because you understand, because you were there, you watched how the whole thing happened, how Biafra was declared. So you don't need any special being to come and start preaching to you that you need to fall back. There's a mini bus that will carry you to USB. You are beyond that because you are part and parcel of the whole thing. That's where I'm coming from.
But do you think that all these people that are clamoring for Biafra, that they really understood the process? You see, one of the things I came to realize is that it's just like somebody is hungry and the person was offered food. The person didn't ask, where did the food come from? something fell down from heaven or fell down from somewhere. They say it's food, you just grabbed it. Some people don't even know the process, or they know how. You know, some people were not even listening. I believe that, like, all those people Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was looking at, I don't think they understood. Or if they did, a few of them that understood what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying, 50 or 80% of them thought it was not possible. So they railroaded him because they felt it was not possible, because they knew it is a hard process. People don't like to, you see how the Ogenkere and the other ones, they want to, hype the people, the people contribute, they go and share it. And that is exactly what is going on in Nigeria today. Nigeria, they had a bunch of, I don't even know what to call these leaders. Go and check, go and research. Each and every one of them is like a half human being. Somebody like the one that is in, let me go to Southeast so that they won't say, the Yoruba people won't say I call their brothers. Go and check all of them. Is one fraud or the other. And Imo State is number 4. From the one in Enugu State is Olanikbeke installed. You know, it was Olanikbeke that installed that man. And I thought he was going to be the first to join APC after he won the thing. Then you see which of Nwifuru, if you push him.
Who is Olanikbeke?
The people that got that made sure that that snatched the Peter Obi's mandate from him. The lawyer, the senior advocate that made sure he was the lead in the PEPET, presidential whatever. Those that made sure that Peter Obi's mandate was snatched. So he was the one that gave Pitamba, installed him, and all of the lists go on. It's either they are fraudulent in one way or the other. So how do you expect a nation to, survive that? And as of today, do you know how much it costs Pitamba? It costs him the whole of, because everything they ask him to do, he will do. Do you know the billions of naira and dollar they charge him? And he's going to pay by whatever they ask him to do, they do. That is why it's dangerous when the people are not the one voting, when the people are not the one that are responsible for installing whoever they want to lead them. That is why Nigeria is a booby trap for every freaking human being there. Because the people that are there are not loyal to the people. They are loyal to the cabals, the dome that they swore to do whatever they are asked to do. So it is not viable. And you see, sometimes you see me here almost all the time. It's because I see that Nigeria is a dangerous place for anybody that is a human being. They don't care.
You know that if you are here when Mazimakan go broadcasting, believe me, you will be in a cabinet meeting by now.
I may not.
I'm telling you.
No, I may not.
Because I'm just saying because if the teachings is just something else, and you understand why. You will know a lot like me. If not because of Mazimakan, do I even know my left or right in terms of when the issue of Nigeria and anything? No, nothing. But he's the one. I want you to. You are still here with me, right? Or you are? You want to check out?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I'm doing some things and I'm listening.
Okay, let's hear Ruben Abati and how they talk about Anioma.
Of the National Assembly on constitutional review approved the creation of an additional state for the Southeast geopolitical zone. The committee also agreed to revisit the over 278 pending requests for new local government areas and 55 proposals for new states, noting that a newly formed subcommittee will handle additional reviews. While many are calling for the creation of an Anioma state, which has gained momentum, a chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Kenneth Okonkwo, has urged the Southeast to narrow its state creation agenda to Adada State. Okonkwo made the calls on Monday during the morning show, saying Adada State, with its capital in Nsukka, remains the most suitable choice. Joining us on this show to discuss the National Assembly's approval of the creation of a new state in the Southeast is Kenny Okolubo, Strategic Communications Consultant to the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio. Good morning, Ken Okolubo. Hello.
Good morning, Ruben Abati. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Well, very quickly,
Good morning.
creation.
Thank you for having me. Okay.
Thank you for honoring our invitation. State creation. We're arm of the view that we don't need states, additional states, that we need to get these states viable to make sure that they are centers of productivity rather than centers of consumption. The ones we have are getting more money under President Tinubu. What are they even doing with the money? And now we say we will create more centers of consumption. And the kind of danger that informs that position is what is happening now. Kenneth,
I'm managing because I see you are 100%. Say that Kenneth Okugbo is very senseless. I'm ashamed of that guy, to be honest with you, but let's continue.
Okonkwo came here, he said, oh, it should be Adada State in the Southeast. You are saying no, it should be Anioma State, because Anioma has strategic oil fields in the, I think, in the Ukwani area, and that Anioma is more viable. Now, before you know it, there will be more debates, more quarrels, and all that. But you want to make a case for Anioma State. So, make the case. And why do you think it should not be Adada State? Tomorrow, somebody will come up and mention another option. But make a case for Anioma State. And it's Anioma in the Southeast. I thought Anioma was in the Delta, Ukwane area. Is it not Delta? So please.
Well, thank you, Abati, once again. Congratulations on your milestone that will be coming up on Friday, next Friday, on getting to Diamond. And I know a road to be leading to Lagos. But having said that, let me also make it clear that I'm not speaking here for my principal, the distinguished Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. I'm speaking essentially as someone from Anioma State and someone who has a passion for the region. Yes, Ukwani, which is the local government area I come from, is part of Anioma State. It has 9 local government areas. It has the Ika, it has the Anyocha South, Anyocha North, Oshimili, and that is where the acronym actually came from. When you say Anioma, it's A is for it's for the entire region of the 9 states. When you say we are not from the Southeast, you see, a lot of our people have gone with that misconception that it's like a one-man show being driven by my senator, Senator Ned Nwoko. I support this because it has been an agitation that has been for 50 years. If you remember very well, someone like you, Ruben, will remember that the Rikife Commission in 1975 that dwelt on the issue of creation of states. Anioma was one of the states that were submitted before the creation of Bendel and every other state. You understand, from Bendel. Before now, we had the Western Igbo. We had the 3 regions. We had the North, South, and the West. We were classified as Western Igbo. Then we came to Midwest Igbo. Then we came to Delta Igbo. And Igbo is a corrupted way of pronouncing Igbo. And some of my brothers from the Ndokwa Okwani extraction who tend to fight and say we don't want to be associated with the Igbo. Some live in self-denial. Why do I say this? I was the editor of the book of the history of, that's the book of Ndo Sumili and Okwani, people of the Niger Delta. This book was written by my late father, very Reverend Professor Okolubo. And when this...
Please, my people, yeah, excuse me. Let me welcome Ezinwife. You know, I've been searching for you. I have a message for you based on our previous discussion. All right, and please, I would like you to try your best to contact. You know what I'm talking about, right? So please contact them. They are looking for a way to, because based on our previous discussion, they are yet to verify it. Do you understand? And they said that next time, if you want to do anything, you should just do it to the appropriate, channel, okay? Because they want you to know that there's difference between federal and state. So you want to give them cold water, all right? And that cold water, you drop it on the table, that meant for federal, not for them. So they are struggling to clear it. They said that in case of next time, they're not saying you should start fighting anybody, but if you want to help them, or maybe you know that their throat is very dry, that if you want to give them water, please, you should just let them know. So they will give you address to their table, so you can drop it on that table. When they want to drink, they can easily go there and lay hand on it and buy or drink and cool themselves, cool their body, understand? Because since then, I've not seen you on my platform. So seeing you now is just like a miracle, because they actually believe that I have your contact. I told them I don't have your contact. I can only communicate with you on comment section like this. Please try your best. If you want their number, I don't mind sharing the number to you. A number of direct persons who set the table and all that. And so please try your best and get it done. Thank you so much. In case of next time, so this one we may just wait feature and forget about it. But if maybe you have chance to, you understand what you know what I'm talking about. All right, take care. Okay, no need.
This book was written, he didn't publish it before he died. He only published the Christianity aspect. I published that book in 2004, and I was able to read that book back to back as the editor of the book. And I remember very well that the book clearly stated and was confirmed by Professor Barry Kim, a foremost historian, who says that we are from the Igbo extraction, but we also have the Edos who came to settle, independent settlers. We have the Galas, but in all, we cannot deny the cultural and linguistic affinity of our people from Ndokwa West and Okwani and Ndokwa East to the Anyoma area. Why are we saying Anyoma is viable? Ndokwa happens to be the area that has the largest gas reserve in West Africa. We're completely shortchanged when, for example, when I was a commissioner in Delta State, when I had the privilege of serving in Deso Padek, our quantum of production was just 9%, which I thought was not fair. The Shekiris had 29%, the Jaws had 27%, the Urubos had 21%, and the Isokos had 14%. And I was further reduced to 4%. I had a colleague who was serving with me. That I had to do 90 projects was because I had to go cap in hand, begging the members of the House of Assembly who were from Anyocha, Oshimili, and Ika to give me the jobs because they were not considered as oil producing. So there are works that were domiciled in my area. That was domiciled in the oil producing area. I took them to my area. That was one of the secrets of my success. So I know what marginalization is, and I know the advantage of us going to Anyoma. And don't also forget that in 2006, there was a committee set up by the National Assembly, headed by Iwanyanwu, for there to be creation of state. Anyoma was also one of those who was promoted by the late Asagba of Asaba. And so it is not a one-man show as is being connoted. We believe in the project, and I believe by the time the referendum is done, our people would have been educated on the reason why we should have the Anyoma in the southeast, because the southeast has been said to be a dotted region, a landlocked region.
For those of you that did not join us when we started, I talked about this referendum. So did you hear what he said here? This is not the first person. I have not more than 4 videos now. They are talking referendum in Anyoma, in the Delta, to determine whether those who want to join or not. You understand? And that referendum is what they told that it's not in a constitution. They don't want to give it to Southeast if they want to belong to Nigeria or not. That you have to elect somebody to go to Senate and begin to debate about it, so they can add a referendum in their constitution. But now they want to create a state. They want to just give that referendum so cheap, even though they have used it before. When they, between Cameroon and Nigeria, that determined this president, what is the name of this man, Atiku Abubakar, and his people to become Nigerian as of now, as of today, is by referendum. So meaning that the referendum has been always been there, but they don't want to use it. You will be here. They will use it to determine who, these are normal creation and everything. They will use it, but after using it, it stops. For you to demand for it, you have to. They will start telling you. And when you hear, as soon as you see people who are non-Igbos, I don't want to say it. You hear an Igbo man, Igbo from Anambra, from Enugu, from Abra, will be telling you, from Imo, from Eboy, will be telling you, you need to join politics. Elect one of your people to go there so that they could go to the National Assembly to pass the bill, so that, because this referendum that you guys are asking is not even in the Constitution. If you check very well, the initiator of that argument, that statement must come from Southeast. That is what Igbo politicians are good at. Helping people who are holding them down to have excuse to hold them, to have excuse to justify holding them down the more. How can you justify that? That's where I have issue with them. But like I said, we got to touchlight all these things to remind them. So now referendum is all of a sudden is not in the Constitution. But all this while, no, you don't need to demand for it because it's not in the Constitution. And
now, if you create a normal state, and for example, we also collaborate with ANIM, which has been one of the states that is agitating, you will now have the area no more landlocked, because we are bordered by the Isokos, the Urubus, Ethiopia East, on our borders. And I think it's going to be a win-win situation if this one state is considered by the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It will be a landmark decision to be the first state to have been created under the civilian regime, as it were.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you this question that I think we've asked a number of our guests, and I'd like to get your perspective on this. Should we be creating more states? I ask because while I understand the sentiment and the arguments for the creation of a normal state in the spirit of fairness, if you look at the number of states per geopolitical area, but in a recent report by Budget where we looked at the state of the states, about 28 states in Nigeria are not viable, including the states that have resources. Because I hear you talk about gas deposits. There are states that have oil deposits. There are states that have mineral deposits that are not viable. Should we not be looking at more resource, the way that resources and revenue is distributed among states, as opposed to creating more states? More states means more seats in the National Assembly. The women are also still pushing for more seats. The bill to have more seats exclusively for women in the National Assembly.
Did you hear that? More seats. For those of you who believe that Nigeria will work someday, and at the same time you are against the state creation, don't you think that you are hurting yourself? Because the idea of there's no seaport, there's no international airport, all these things goes back to National Assembly. Because once you pass the bill, the Northerners who are more in number will knock it out. You should know better.
This is money, revenue going into this. Should we be clamoring for more states or looking at other ways to even make the present states more viable and to reduce the cost of governance?
As a Yoruba woman, why don't you, look at it this way, that you can also pick one of the states and from your own region and dissolve it, so that it will reduce the cost. And that's why, like Lizzie, who I know that she's one Nigerianist, original one, but at the same time trying to, put things as if she cares about Biafran. You cannot tell me that you love P2P to become president. At the same time, you are against Anyoma. Think about it. So that we can, but even though whether they create it or not, if anybody can, but I've told you reason why I want it to be created. Just for identity crisis to reduce.
Okay, I actually went for that retreat with my senator, Led Nwoko, and one of the things that were canvassed was the issue you have just raised, the viability of the states. Now, a committee has been set up. It's a very important question you have asked. This committee is headed up by Senator Mungunu. He's the chief whip of the Senate. The one for the House of Rep is headed by Honorable Julius. You have Senator Dan Zazdao, you have Senator Ume, you have Senator Dixon, and I think you also have Senator Adiola as part of that committee. Now, what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to put up modalities for which we are going to use in terms of determining which they are going to use in terms of determining which of these states are viable. That is why in the Southeast, Senator Ome is representing the Southeast, and Honorable Miriam Onoha is representing the Southeast in the House of Reps. What I think they should do is to hit the ground running. Why Anyoma is particular is because Anyoma will be very viable. Anyoma already can even take care of itself without even IGR. We are agrarian and we know how to produce a lot of farm produce apart from our large gas deposit. And you might not know this, Ayo, but we have Eneja, we have Pillar, we have Platform, we have Ajib, we have Midwestern, we have about 7 upstream companies producing crude oil in Ndokwa land now, and about 4 others in the downstream, which comes to about 11. And so, in terms of viability, I think Anyoma stands heads over heels above any state, I dare to say, in the 7 zones or in the 6 zones that the agitation is being made. And the advantages are such that why do you create local governments? It's to bring government nearer the people. And even though the issue of viability is something you must put in the front burner, if the modalities are put into place, I think this one state that will be created, after this one state is created, then you can look at the viability of the other zones, because it was also said that there should be states for each of the zones, which will make the Southeast 7 states. If it is now eventually approved, every other zone will be 7 states, apart from the Northwest, that will be 8 states. So Anyoma is a win-win situation for Anyoma if you look at it. And I like us to deepen this debate, maybe outside this forum. And that's why I think Kenneth Okonkwo did not look at it with the empirical facts that were on the table. He spoke about Dada states because that is where he comes from. I know, like Ruben Abati said, everybody will want to be interested in their own zone. But the facts are very clear that in the 7 states that are being touted in the Southeast, Orashi, Aba, Etiti, Adada, Anim, and Anyoma, Anyoma stands to be most viable.
Okay. I'd like to come in here. You're talking about viability of Anyoma and all of that. So you talk about viability, that Anyoma has all the infrastructure on ground now. You said it's a fertile land. As we speak, can you tell me the tonnage of food that has been produced in Anyoma? Because almost every state in Nigeria is fertile, but we don't see the empirical. Can you tell me the tonnage of rice, beans, maize, cowpea that is being produced in Anyoma as we speak now?
No, we don't have rice. We have cassava. We have gari. We have yam.
Okay, can you tell me the tonnage of this food that's been produced?
We can export it.
Can you tell me the tonnage?
Why I can't give you the exact tonnage? Because we're not being allowed. Hold on. Why I can't give you the exact tonnage? Because we're not allowed to. We're not exporting now. But I'm telling you that the viability is such that we'll be able to export.
No. I'm not saying in export. I'm saying production tonnage. You might produce and not even export. Can you give me the viable tonnage that is even being produced, that is being farmed? No,
I can't give the exact tonnage.
Okay, so we don't have data on that. Secondly, so we don't have data on that. So we don't even know what the viability is like, since we don't have empirical data on that. Secondly, I want to read something to you from the Willings Commission report of 1958. And this Willings Commission report came after the 57 constitutional conferences we had. And in the 57 constitutional conferences, a lot of people were advocating for state creation just like you are advocating for. In fact, then they were talking about Calabar, Ogoja, Rivers states, and other states in the country. Then the British put it to a commission headed by Willings. And these were their explanation. As regards viability, they said the new states will lack manpower, finances, and clean boundaries. And they will create fresh minorities. Because the problem you are trying to solve with the marginalization of the Anyoma people will now arise because people like the Mundokwa, some year down the line, will say, no, why must we be with these other sets of people? Because exactly that was what happened when we had Bendel states. The people in Delta felt, why must we be with the Edo people? They are the ones taking everything. We created Delta State, and Delta State has not solved the problem. The second point from the Willings report in 58, it will create divisiveness. It will create more problems of divisiveness. These were some of the recommendations of the Willings report, and those recommendations are still apt today. State creation will create the need to create more state creation because we have to actually see a bigger level of agitation. What will you say as regards some of the arguments as espoused in the Willings reports?
You see, that report, was skewed because the British had divided us with their boundary delineation. For example, Ndoni in Rivers State, Ndoni, they speak pure Kwani. They are brothers, they are sisters, but they are in terms of delineation, it took the Ndoni people from original Delta or Bendel or Undokwa it should have been on, it took them to Rivers. And you also know that you have the Jaws in six states. Just like you also have in Ndokwa, we have these so-called speaking people in Ndokwa East. What you have said is not far from the truth. But because the British people knew what they were doing, they knew that they brought the issue of divide and rule, which you must agree. They feared that the more independent people became by the creation of states, the more people were going to be vociferous, the more people were going to resist their rule, and so they did not want this to happen. And so if you're taking us back there, then maybe we're going back to what we will not want to remember, which was why you can see that even when the Asaba massacre happened during the Civil War, a lot of people kicked against it because Asaba division had been put to Benin division. Abo had been put to Warri division, to Yoruba side, and they did not want us to have our own identity as it is. But you see, creating fresh minorities would always happen. There is no way maybe you can call it that because I'm from Ndokwa today, I want to be the king on the table when Anyoma state is created. Yes, I see where you are coming from. But that should not stop us from saying that we correct this imbalance of the 5 states that the Southeast have had. Then we can judge with our Southeast brothers without having to look like we are going to become conquerors because we have oil reserves, we are producing crude oil. We can now understand ourselves, and that modalities that will be worked out will allow us to live peaceably together without people now thinking that, once you're a minority, you're not going to get what you have. Because I know what you're saying is one of the reasons we're talking about is on the basis of equity. But we are Igbo. Our ancestors are from the Igbo land. And you cannot deny that fact that ties Anyoma to the Southeast.
Well, I started by saying new states
yes, I can hear you.
Will most likely create new problems. Already, as you were talking,
yes.
Some people have started sending messages. One person says, if a state must be created in the Southeast, it must be Imbise State. One of your Anyoma brothers sent a message from London and said, let Okolugbo face the issue. We are not Igbos. We are Anyoma. You should just not talk about we coming from Igbo land. And you have repeated it. Another person has also intervened. So you see, new states, new problems. But you say you want Anyoma state, fine. And we thank you for joining us for this conversation and making your case. You didn't say why you don't want Adada state. So before Kenneth Okonkwo comes back and he says...
Because Adada state is not as viable as Anyoma.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay. I'm sure Kenneth Okonkwo is listening to you. But thank you all the same. We'll take
All right. I think that is it, and that will bring us to an end of this live broadcast. Madam Origin, are you still there?
Yeah, listening keenly. He is very articulate and he knows his onions and he said all the right words.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. Kenneth Okonkwo. You know, people like to, you see how you want to sell your market because you're going to make profits. So Kenneth Okonkwo wants something that is going to go into his pocket. Nothing more, nothing less. There is no reason for what he's talking about. And if not that Nigeria is what it is, if they had left people, the TV people, the Igbos, everybody stay together, they know the health of unity. So they did what they could to disunite the people. And now we are struggling to reunite ourselves. So let's leave it at that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Origin. And you know, issue of Adada State, if that is what they are talking about, then I have a different opinion of that, because Adada is already inside the Igbo land. So, but now you understand what I'm talking about. It's already it's a part of Enugu State, right? Adada, which is Nsukka. So if that is what they are pushing now to create, then the story would have been different. But for the fact that it has to do with our brothers that have been they carved away all this while, I think it's a different topic. Thank you, Matt. God bless you for joining me this night, and see you again tomorrow. Thank you, all of you on the comment section. God bless you. Good night. Take care.
Last week, you can't tell us I cannot give up.
I'm a
It's not